Welcome back to Trending Update USA. This is your host Steffan, and I am here with a story that has sent shockwaves through the world of tennis, sports media, and fans across the globe, because drama has officially exploded after Coco Gauff revealed something that absolutely no one saw coming. The tennis world is no stranger to pressure, headlines, or emotional moments, but what Coco Gauff revealed recently has gone far beyond a typical post-match quote or press conference comment. At just a young age, Gauff has already carried the weight of expectations, sponsorships, global fame, and the responsibility of being one of the faces of women's tennis. But in a moment of honesty that stunned fans and insiders alike, Coco pulled back the curtain on everything she has been dealing with behind the scenes, and the reaction has been explosive. It all started quietly. There was no dramatic build-up, no controversial interview teaser, no leaks to the media. It was supposed to be a routine appearance, just another moment where Coco Gauff would reflect on her journey, her performances, and her goals. Instead, what followed felt like a confession that instantly changed the way many people view her career. Gauff revealed that for a long time, she felt trapped by expectations that weren't even her own. She admitted that there were moments when she stepped onto the court not playing for herself, but for sponsors, fans, online critics, and even for the image of who the world expected Coco Gauff to be. That single revelation was enough to ignite debate, but she wasn't done. Coco went on to say that there were times when winning didn't even feel like winning anymore. She described championships that ended with smiles and trophies, yet left her feeling emotionally empty. These words hit like a punch to the gut for fans who have grown up watching her rise as a symbol of joy, resilience, and youthful confidence. Suddenly, the image of the fearless teenager shocking legends at Wimbledon felt incomplete, even misleading. Social media erupted within minutes. Some fans expressed heartbreak, saying they had no idea she was carrying that kind of emotional load. Others were furious, questioning the system that places so much pressure on young athletes before they are fully grown emotionally. And then there were critics, accusing Coco of being ungrateful, claiming that fame, money, and success should erase any right to feel overwhelmed. That backlash only fueled the drama further. What made this revelation even more shocking was the timing. Coco Gauff is still very much at the top of the sport, still competing for Grand Slams, still headlining tournaments, still one of the most marketable athletes in the world. This wasn't a confession made at the end of a career or during a long injury break. This was a star in her prime admitting that the mental battle nearly broke her at times. As the quote spread like wildfire, fellow players quietly began to react. Some offered public support, while others stayed silent but reportedly reached out privately. Insiders revealed that Coco's words resonated deeply in locker rooms across the tour. Many players, especially younger ones, reportedly said they felt seen for the first time. The idea that even someone as successful as Coco Gauff felt lost and suffocated made others realize they were not weak for feeling the same way. The media, however, did what it always does in moments like this. Some outlets framed the reveal as bravery and maturity beyond her years. Others twisted it into a narrative of instability, questioning whether Coco could maintain her competitive edge. Headlines began to speculate about burnout, future slumps, and even early retirement rumors, despite Coco never indicating anything close to that. The drama intensified as narratives clashed, each trying to define what her honesty truly meant. Coco Gauff didn't hide from the reaction. In fact, she doubled down. In follow-up comments, she made it clear that her intention was not to complain, but to tell the truth. She emphasized that mental strength does not mean silence. She spoke about therapy, about learning to separate self-worth from match results, and about how losing used to feel like she was letting the world down. That level of transparency from a global sports figure stunned even seasoned journalists. For many fans, this moment changed everything. Coco was no longer just the prodigy, or the champion. She became human in a way that felt raw and unfiltered. Parents of young athletes began sharing her quotes, saying this was exactly what children needed to hear. Mental health advocates applauded her courage, calling the moment historic for women's sports. At the same time, traditional voices within tennis questioned whether this openness could become a distraction. Then came the comparisons, and that's where the drama escalated to another level. Fans began drawing lines between Coco Gauff and other stars like Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, Aryna Sabalenka, and Iga Swiatek. Some praised Coco for speaking out earlier than others did. Some accused her of following a trend. Others argued that this honesty is the next evolution of greatness, not a weakness. Comment sections turned into battle zones. Behind the scenes, sponsors reportedly paid close attention. While no deals were announced as affected, marketing experts debated whether vulnerability would strengthen Coco's brand or complicate it. In today's sports world, authenticity often connects more deeply than perfection, but there is always risk. Coco seemed unconcerned. She stated clearly that she would rather lose deals than lose herself. That statement alone sent another wave through the internet. For a generation raised on metrics, money, and image, Coco Gauff openly prioritizing her inner peace over external rewards felt revolutionary. Some called it reckless. Others called it leadership. Either way, it was undeniable that she had shifted the narrative. On court, all eyes turned to her next match. Would the emotional reveal affect her performance? Would opponents sense vulnerability? Instead, what fans witnessed was a surprising calm. Coco played freely, not perfectly, but with a visible sense of release. Her body language was different. Less tense. More expressive. It was as if she had dropped an invisible weight. Analysts quickly noticed it too. They spoke about her shot selection, her patience, and her willingness to accept mistakes without visible frustration. That performance became an extension of her revelation. Win or lose, Coco looked like someone finally playing on her own terms. But not everyone was ready to accept this shift. Some former players criticized the culture of public confession, arguing that athletes should handle their struggles privately to preserve competitive mystique. These comments reignited the debate, and suddenly Coco Gauff found herself at the center of a broader cultural conversation about strength, vulnerability, and what it truly means to be elite. Coco responded in the only way she knows how, calmly and thoughtfully. She said strength is not pretending everything is fine. Strength is showing up even when things are hard, and choosing honesty over silence. Those words were shared millions of times, turning into a quote that may well define her legacy as much as any trophy. As the drama continues to unfold, one thing is clear. Coco Gauff didn't just reveal something shocking. She challenged an entire system. She forced fans, media, and fellow athletes to rethink how success is measured and at what cost it comes. Whether you agree with her or not, you cannot ignore her impact. This moment may be remembered as a turning point, not just in Coco Gauff's career, but in modern tennis itself. A moment when winning stopped being the only story worth telling. A moment when a young champion chose truth over image, even knowing the storm it would cause. And as Coco herself continues forward, one match at a time, one truth at a time, the world will be watching not just to see if she wins, but to see how she defines success on her own terms. The drama may have exploded, but what rises from it could be far more powerful than anyone expected. That's the latest from the center of the tennis world, right here on Trending Update USA. I'm Steffan, and this story is far from over.